Black people are more prone to cardiovascular disease than white people are. Dr. Harry is going to explain some of those reasons. And in my experience as a doctor, I was seeing patients who would come. I mean, they were doing everything right. They would take their medications, somewhere on up to 4 medications, 5 medications, prescribed by doctors. They were exercising, they were dieting, they went to stop eating meat, and yet their numbers were not coming down. They were still hypertensive, and they were very, very concerned about it. And the missing piece in most cases, if not all cases, is simply that their bodies, their cardiovascular systems have not been given the right nutrients in order to function properly. And that is what I really hope you grasp and run with as we can progress in this with this episode. So,
okay, why are people of color twice as likely to suffer from heart failure, twice as likely to die of a stroke, twice as likely to have high blood pressure, twice as likely to have diabetes, 3 times as likely to suffer an amputation? Only 22% of Black American men, and this is globally, live past 75. And now we finally know why. A new study was done at Ohio State University and published in Circulation that showed that the cardiovascular system of Black subjects have more enzymes to produce what? Nitric oxide, which we talked about in the last segment, and can be more efficient than those of white people, white subjects. Now, oftentimes when I'm in the middle of doing a lecture, people will raise their hand and say, well, wait a minute, you said nitric oxide is the cardiovascular cure. If Black subjects can produce an enzyme to produce more of it, then why are they 5 times more likely to suffer from cardiovascular disease? Well, the report went on to say that Black subjects did not produce enough of the amino acid arginine to complete the process of nitric oxide production. Thus, instead of the enzyme producing another, it produced another oxidative molecule known as superoxide, which reacts with nitric oxide to create even more powerful and damaging oxidant known as peroxynitrate, which leads to cardiovascular disease and cancer. What they concluded is this: what is amazing is that the Black system has a great potential to produce nitric oxide and can be corrected very efficiently at a relatively early age. So what is the secret? The secret is arginine, that Black people have the ability to produce nitric oxide more than Caucasian people, but they need arginine. And the only way to get arginine is to eat a lot of steak, which you said you don't have, or to supplement with arginine supplement, which is an amino acid found in steak and eggs and protein sources. So that's simply the answer, is simply increasing nitric oxide through the use of arginine. And believe me, you will not be 5 times more likely to be suffering from heart disease or having a stroke. In fact, I often tell people that if you can do this, you can take the fear out of having a heart attack or stroke simply by supplementing with arginine.
Interesting, Doc. Let me take this second point here. I thought L-arginine had to be taken in, like you said, with supplements, but you're saying here, or this point is saying that Black subjects don't produce enough. So can the body actually make L-arginine?
Well, if it will make arginine if you eat the proper food, and it separates it, and then it is taking in the arginine. So it doesn't the body doesn't produce arginine. It has to come from outside sources.
Got it.
Now, there are amino acids that the body does produce, but arginine isn't one of them. It has to come from an outside source.
Got it. So what I'm seeing here is that Africans, people like me, can we're more efficient at producing nitric oxide. The problem is that the building blocks that we need are not available, and because we don't have enough of those building blocks, which is the L-arginine, we tend not to make enough nitric oxide. because the building block is missing. And even worse, we produce dangerous and harmful substances as a result of not having enough of the building block or the arginine. So it's almost like a double whammy. We produce less nitric oxide and we produce more of the other toxic.
Peroxynitrate, correct.
Ah, that's crazy. Why do we have all the luck?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Okay, I hope you have some good news for the down for us.
Well, simply supplementing with arginine and you can reverse the process. I mean, it's that simple. In fact, what these doctors went on to say is someday a pharmaceutical company will come out with a drug that will produce nitric oxide. Well, they do. They have nitroglycerin, which produces nitric oxide. However, nitroglycerin is what's found in dynamite. It's very explosive. And what happens is you need to take more and more and more until finally your heart explodes and you die of a heart attack anyway. Whereas taking arginine-derived nitric oxide, you never have that problem.
And again, we want to really point out that it's not just going to the store and picking up L-arginine, a bottle of L-arginine, because that, what's the problem with that, Doc?
Well, arginine actually, when it produces nitric oxide is a two-edged sword. One side is creating miracles in the body. The other side is it's creating free radicals. And free radicals, when they're spinning around out of control in your body, can lead to all kinds of problems like cancer and so on. So you need to take antioxidants to prevent that free radical damage. So you need a cofactor of, when you take arginine, you need cofactors of antioxidants, which can be vitamin C, vitamin E, resveratrol, grapeseed extract, CoQ10. These are all antioxidants. And then you also need to take citrulline, which is another amino acid, but it gets the arginine to last longer in the body so it doesn't burn off so quickly. And then, when it lasts longer, it does more healing.